Hi everyone, it's Morgan from For Love of Paper, and I am here with a 12 by 12 layout process video for you. I am doing this on behalf of Scrapping Fun Kits for the Craft Plus challenges. This is what I was just showing on the screen is the challenge for the month. So it's kind of, bees. So there was some hexagons and some black and yellow and things like that in the little picture. And yeah, so that's what we had to work with this month. I kind of took the hexagon part of it and also the black and yellow part of it and decided to scrap one of my wedding photos. It's just a photo of me getting ready. I think I was pretty much ready to leave about then. Yeah, so that's what I am scrapping. And I decided to get a hexagon punch. I thought I had one, and I could have sworn I used to have a hexagon punch, but apparently not. So I went and bought a new one. It was one of the Fiskars ones. Spotlight had a bit of a sale on. I think they were 30% off all the Fiskars range quite a few weeks ago. So I bought one of those and decided to use it for this layout. So first up, I'm just mounting my photo onto some white cardstock and using that as my base. Now this challenge is for Craft Plus, and that their whole thing is you've got to make the craft paper cardstock part of your layout. Now, because I am so used to working on plain white cardstock, I got out my piece of craft paper, but I forgot to use it because, sometimes things happen, and this took me like 3 days to make this layout because I kept getting interrupted. So you will see me create this entire layout on a piece of white 12 by 12 cardstock. At the end, when I go to do my journaling, which I was doing off camera, I realized that I had done it all wrong and it should have been on craft cardstock. So I then cut out all of the little bits again and stick them onto craft paper. So you will see my finished layout in the photos at the end, and it is on craft cardstock, not on white as you see in this process video. So if you think, oh, this doesn't look right or look the same, that is why. I made a fatal error. Even though I got the craft colored cardstock out to start with, I totally forgot to use it just because I don't do it often. And I don't know why, because it looked amazing. I love using craft. So, lesson learned, and also reminder to use craft more often because it looks good. Anyway, I cut a whole bunch of punched out a whole bunch of hexagons off camera because you didn't need to see me doing that. I used up some scrap bits of paper that I had, and I used up some old Stampin' Up pieces of pattern paper, and yeah, so it was just a mix of all different things. And I cut out that many that you can see on the screen, and then I end up punching out a few more at different times throughout this process video. So I got a bunch of yellow ones, some with stripes, some with dots. I did some plain black. I did some patterned black paper, or black and white, black and cream. I think actually, yeah, they're all black and cream. So just to give a bit of variety to the layout. Oh yeah, and I just sort of do a strip down the side, and then it kind of goes off the edge in a couple of places. And I really, really like how this turned out. This is my third layout that I've done in the last couple of months where I've used punched out shapes. That was a tongue twister. So I did the circle one, and then I did a squares one, and now I'm doing this one, and I really like it. I love using the punches on the layout. I don't know why I had not done it previously, but that's my new thing, trying to work out different ways I can use my punches. And yeah, so that paper there, it's got the yellow and cream stripe on one side, and then it's got black cream with black dots on the other side. So I was using both sides of it to make the most of the paper. So first of all, I got all my little pieces all laid out where I wanted them to be on the page, and then I was using the photo there to see how far over and up and down and everything it needed to be, and then punching out a few more. That's a really, really old paper pad. I think the first time I went to the Scrapbook Paper Craft Expo here in Brisbane, I bought that paper pad, and it was about probably just over an inch thick paper pad. It was huge, and it had so many. I think it had like 4 or 5 of each different pattern, and there was like 50 patterns in there, so it was just a ton of paper, and I've still got so much of it left. A lot of it's quite vintagey, so I haven't used it lately, but I've been pulling it out for random projects, so it was like the best bargain. It was only like $9 for this whole paper pad. Amazing. Anyway, enough rambling about that. Off camera, I went and glued down all of those little things, and yeah, I end up repunching all of those and sticking them down onto the craft cardstock later on. But never mind, you don't see me do that. There's no point in me redoing it all. So I glued all those down and then trimmed off some of the edges, and then went back through and just added a few more here and there to fill in the gaps and, I don't know, make it look better, I suppose. I end up kind of making a line going right along the bottom, so it kind of frames the photo on one side. Sorry if I sound a little snuffly. I'm just finally getting over a cold that my family had kindly shared with me, because they're good like that, and I was the last one to get it. So, and luckily I took some really good cold medicine before, when I first started feeling sick, so I only had it for a couple of days, which was really nice. Everyone else has had it for like a week or longer. So yeah, I'm just getting over that. If I sound a little stuffed up, that's why. So now I'm going through and mounting this on some black cardstock as well, because I felt like it needed a little bit more of a defined border. And then I've had that for a few months, that paper trimmer, and I just realized there was a sheet of plastic on the top of it. I was like, why is it all bubbly? So I peeled off that plastic sheet. I can't believe that I didn't know that was there. So random. And now just trimming down the black cardstock. I could have done that on my paper trimmer, but I couldn't be bothered getting my big one out. Pop that in there, and then decide to punch out a few more, because you can't have too many little hexagon shapes on the page. I probably could have covered the whole page if I just kept going. It would have been a very, very busy layout and very time consuming. This layout took, in the process of over the 3 days or however, 3 crafting sessions it took me to make this, I think it was all up about an hour. It was just over an hour. It was like an hour and 10 minutes of video footage that I had. So that's usually what I go by. And of course, I've cut out a lot of bits and sped it up to make a 15-minute video for you guys, because no one wants to watch an hour process video. And then, of course, I had to redo a whole most of it, 90% of the layout I had to redo, so I haven't counted that either. So it was quite a long layout for me. Most of mine are, between 30 and 40 minutes, so being just over an hour was a bit longer. And this was the part that I was dying to use. This piece of chipboard, I can't remember where it was from. It was just in my stash. Yeah, I'm not sure who made this one. And I just used some black gelato and a little bit of water on my finger. And then I gave up on the water because it was kind of making it go a bit too see-through. But it was like just enough water to make it smudge, I guess. And I cover the whole piece in the black gelato. I was going to paint it, but I kind of wanted a more rustic effect, I suppose you could say. So there were still bits of chipboard you could kind of see through it, which was nice, whereas paint would have just been like completely covered in paint. And I wanted that sort of more rusticy look with the chipboard coming through. So I stick that down in the bottom, and then I decided it needed a little bit of something. So I got out some stickles. When was the last time you used stickles? They were such a big thing. They were all over everything, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And then I haven't seen anyone use them in years. And I honestly haven't used them in, at least 3 years. And I still had some sitting around, and I decided that would be perfect for this layout. So look at this. I'm totally on board with this using up your old stash. I'm all about using up your scrap paper at the moment, and now I'm in the use up everything. If you've got it, use it. So yeah, get out your stickles. I challenge everyone to if you've got some, or the pearlescent stuff. You can make the little dots that are all pearlized. If you've got some, I challenge you to use it on your next project because it's fun. And yeah, so I stuck that on the word just to give it a little bit of bling to it. And now I'm just filling in a couple of little gaps. There was a couple of little white spots that were annoying me. So I cut down some extra, or punched out some extra shapes, put them in the spots, and then I think I do a little embellishment cluster up in that top left corner. Yeah. So the beautiful, I was trying to go with the bee. I actually thought that chipboard that I had, because when I first got it out, I couldn't remember. I knew it was there, but I couldn't remember what it looked like. I thought the bee was the larger font, but it wasn't, because I wanted to go with the theme of the bees and the hive and all of that sort of thing. But it kind of still has that effect that I wanted to go with anyway. It works as far as I'm concerned. So just punching out a few of these for the embellishment cluster. Then I will glue them down. I thought I might have fast forwarded through this bit, but I didn't. Oh, my videos are so all over the place at the moment. I'm filming them 1 week, and then weeks later I'm editing them, and then another week later I'm doing the voiceover. So by that point I've completely forgotten what I've done. So I apologize. And then there was just a teeny tiny little bit in that top corner that needed another little piece. Look at that. I could have just, punched out a whole one, but no, just punch out a tiny one. And trim off the excess. And then I think I stick a tiny word sticker or something up there. I don't know. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Yes, look at that. I'm getting out the tiny word stickers. And I'm pretty sure I used one of the chipboard ones, one of these ones. Pretty sure I used that. And it says like best day, or remember this day, or special day, or something like that. And wedding day, it is a pretty special day. Well, for most people, I think it's a really special day. It was for me. And oh no, I used this one. I think it says the same thing. I can't remember. I'll put the close-up photos at the end of the video so you can check it out. Oh man, look, I'm all over the place. Pulling things up, putting them down, pulling them back up again. There we go, we'll go with that. And I think I put a little enamel dot or something in that corner as well. Yep, here we go. Oh, that freckle fawn. Look, I was going a little freckle fawn thing. 2 things from their collection. So a little heart and then a little dot. And then I think I used one of the dots for the eye in Beautiful as well. I don't remember putting that there. And no, and then I put it in the wrong place because, I can't spell. Oh, that's funny. And that's this layout done, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. Bye.